guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Frost and Kyuujin, and today we are back at you guys with Band of Brothers. Episode 4 from season
Replacements. So last episode, Quarantine, the Easy Company went to try and liberate the city of Quarantine, and we followed one soldier in particular, Blight, who apparently survived, by the way, last episode. There was a little error in the show. People told us in the comments, which pretty cool, but still in the show, the character was going through fear and stress, and he was so nervous at one point he lost his sight. And so we followed him in order to understand what fear they go through and how those soldiers had to basically take their courage, find it, and become true soldiers.
We also saw some of them decided to cope, to just go and do their job. Like some of them decided to just see it as a game, like you just play and just go with it.
Others completely detached and they're saying like, you gotta do what you gotta do, kill who you gotta kill, and move on. So interesting ways of dealing with it. Everyone has their own way, and with Blight, I guess like he heard them all and he found his courage right on time to get shot. They did say he died, but like you said in the comments, you guys corrected that, so we know he survived. Okay, it's still not good. Like they thought they were going back, but they've been told that nope, it's right back to the war. It's not gonna be over.
No going home yet, boys.
Yes, so I say let's jump in this episode and see what happens to them next. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
In the meantime, let's go.
Thank you, by the way, you guys, for all the information you're giving us in the comments. We do read every single one of them, and it's nice to hear like the behind the scenes, the actual stories, stuff that they didn't put in the show. No spoilers, but when the episode is over, to go back and see how it actually happened or why they did certain things certain way. It's pretty cool.
The Tekoa men, that's the ones that was there at the very beginning. They are very close. They accept people coming in like myself as a replacement, but you also have to prove yourself.
I can only imagine, yeah.
A lot of them were awfully green, and we knew that. We hoped we could keep them alive, and they could keep alive. A lot of them didn't.
Could you imagine the pressure of it?
I got right there to where I didn't want to be friendly with replacements coming in because, God, I didn't like seeing them get killed.
It's actually the first time I'm hearing this version of why they would have been, you know,
a little bit detached.
Mean to them. Like, when you've been through so much, you've got experience with your friends and stuff, your partners, and then they come in. And some of them may be acting like, oh, they're the shit and all that. Like you'd be like, oh no.
Like they're the big men, but they don't nothing.
Yeah. But to hear that you'd be rejecting them because you're tired of getting or seeing them get killed, that's actually really sad.
I think your buddies are starting to miss you. They do look kind of sad, don't they?
They're just serious fighting men, that's all.
Hey, they'll just make a vibe.
What do you hear? What do you say?
Actually, it's babysit, private Hefties.
I don't care if it's fucking Eisenhower's. Who are you?
Private Miller, James Miller.
You're so young.
I'm in Sergeant Randleman's squad.
Look at him get killed though. Every time I recognize someone.
Don't say that.
Johnny, what do you say? Those boys are just humoring them?
Yeah, like whenever he gives out some of his folksy wisdom from back down on the farm.
Probably think he's a fucking hayseed. They're right.
What are you laughing at?
Everybody's laughing, sir.
Yeah. Now, I mean, they told us the reasons. We still got to prepare ourselves for this.
It's true that compared to these ones, the new guys look like
Kids.
babies. They still got that soft look in their eyes, you know?
You just got here.
It's a Presidential Distinguished Unit citation for what the regiment did in Normandy.
For what the regiment did.
You weren't there.
Hey, he's up, cop. It's a unit citation.
I understand why though, like you'd be pissed. I do feel bad for him though, for the new ones. Cause like you've been through shit, you've suffered, you've got hurt.
And other people's got
other people
the
get-
acknowledgement and for what you did and stuff.
Or like, can you imagine one of the replacements just getting a higher grade or just being up on the hierarchy, pretending that he can give you orders? Like, there'd be a lot of bad blood.
Shit, Cobb. You didn't fight Normandy neither.
Oh. Talking shit, but then it's all relative. They'll all go through their own fucking hell.
This here is Carver Lipton, the new Easy Company first sergeant. He says he has to make an announcement.
Hate to break the mood here, boys, but we're moving out again.
Ah, shit.
It's always him who does the shitty announcements. I feel so bad.
This is called Operation Market Garden. This one's even bigger than Normandy. We're dropping deep into occupied Holland. The Allied objective is to take this road here between Eindhoven and Arnhem so the 2 British armored divisions can move up it toward Arnhem.
You really had one of the worst positions. They're being sent in the middle of enemy territory. They're the ones jumping, being easy targets. They have the big missions.
They'll be under British command.
The good news is, if this works, these tanks will be over the Rhine and into Germany. That could end the war, get us home by Christmas. Intelligence doesn't expect much opposition. They think the Krauts in Holland are mostly kids and old men.
Kids and old men, not always, an easy target. Like, maybe they'd be freaking out. And maybe you'll be freaking out watching someone fucking young just trying to get to you.
Watch and learn, kids. You want to live? Jump ready to fight.
Thank you, man. I don't remember if we talked about this here.
Someone's
He's
back.
I didn't recognize him. What is he doing here? Look in their faces. They didn't want him at the school either. Maybe he changed.
We will see. I don't know. He's not in command, so... Well, I don't think he is.
What's he doing here?
Well, he's the newly appointed regimental S4. Supply officer?
Okay.
He picked me up an old boy. He just said I was lucky. I could sit out this jump if I wanted. I said I didn't want to, so he says hop in. I couldn't believe it either. Maybe he's gonna court-martial me later.
They have not forgotten everything he did. I am hoping he kind of brought back some humility. Like, he knows they don't like him.
Malarkey.
And I'm out.
Sergeant Malarkey.
Sir?
Maybe he's proud. He's heard what they did. Maybe he's just like, he trained them.
Well, those used to be his guys.
Sergeant, that motorcycle is United States Army property. That may not mean anything to you, but it means something to me. Where'd you find it?
Yeah, seem all right.
Yeah, okay.
Come here. Sling it up and down. When you hit the ground, your knee will hit the butt of the business end to break your jaw. Take your belly band and wrap it around.
I like what he's doing. Instead of just antagonizing them, you
Keeping
just
them
take
away.
them under your wing a little bit. Like, you've been there too. Like, the first time you went through this, wouldn't you have loved for someone to help you out? Why make it more difficult for others? I also understand the whole, like, I suffered, so others should suffer too. Like, it's a weird reaction, but it's human.
But like I said, some of them, they just don't want to see other friends being killed. They don't want to get attacked because of it.
Yeah, after that, well, they just got here, but we'll probably see what they talked about. The whole, like, since they're green, they have no experience, they get killed easily, since, like, they joined in at a point where it's dangerous, really dangerous. And so they'd rather not get attached and push them away. I will say I prefer jumping in the daylight like this. But I'm thinking, like, Sobol coming back, being in charge of the supplies, like, I hope he doesn't do, like, some pity shit. I would hope he would be a bigger man than that. Because he had this look of, like, kind of nostalgia, like, oh, the guys I train and all, I was like, oh, maybe he's, maybe he's gonna be nice to them, but he kind of went back to his old shit.
Won't be able to shoot it straight with that thing on.
I really love what he's doing. I'll say it again, like, experience.
Taking them under his wing.
Yeah, become the teacher. They all have the same goal, so help each other out.
Okay, hold your fire.
What does the orange flag mean? Is there like a festival? A celebration?
No, they're
Allies?
Yeah.
It's nice, but it could be dangerous. Stay focused as much as possible.
Fox ticket.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They are on a schedule, they gotta get moving. Although, like, after I don't know how many months of this, like, I would also be like, oh yeah, give me all the cheese and fucking wine you want. Or I mean, women too. I am worried there could be traitors in there. Yeah, fuck. Oh shit. Oh my god, okay. Not so fun anymore.
What did they do? They slept with the Germans. They're lucky. The men who collaborated are being shot.
Still harsh. Because, like, not everyone can do the right thing. Like, you're being in... There's enemies everywhere. You're trying to survive. It sucks, but... In a way, he was right, though. They could have been shot, so it's better this than the alternative.
Being humiliated in public instead of death.
Well, I'm better this than get shot.
True.
Although they'll have to move, but there's no way they can stay here after this. But...
But I can say English?
A little bit.
What were you doing down there?
My family has been in there ever since the first plane flew over.
We're Americans.
The Germans are gone.
Think so. You see any, you let us know.
They all speak English. They all love us. What a fantastic country.
Hey, take a look.
You're here to help, so...
Ja, kom Rinus, is goed.
It's a huge piece of chocolate.
You never tasted chocolate.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's only making me think of like what could happen to this little kid and his dad. Like, they've been hiding, but like they are in the middle of everything.
Anything can and will probably happen.
It's like, yeah, they love them because they're here to help. But that means that there are people to save. So they've been going through shit. They've been invaded. Like it sucks for everyone. You see, like, she has a kid. They punished them because they slept with the Germans. Who's to say she didn't do that to keep her kid alive? To try and get some food for him? Like, we don't know their reality. They are also under constant stress.
I think that maybe she got pregnant, and that's the baby.
Maybe, well, I mean...
What should we do?
Keep down, stay still.
Shit. Yeah, I
hope
gotta
you
get
got
you
some
some medic.
Help the medic?
Yeah.
You gotta go there. That's like, they are in the middle of the road. You gotta get there knowing that you're not the medic. They can shoot you. And they shot the medic who they were not supposed to shoot, so they don't really care. And they are new to this. But you obviously can see like who just got here and who's been there already, like not backing up in the face of guns and explosions and shit, just doing their job, and the others not really knowing how to react.
Well, just like them when they first job at D-Day, right? On Normandy.
And like, as much as they should or want to look out for the new ones, they don't have time to train them on the battlefield.
Either means the Germans have gone or he wants us to go. I don't know.
Maybe both. On marche pas sur la pelouse.
Don't step on the grass.
I'm gonna call the guy from Walking Dead Abraham because I don't remember his actual name, but I am afraid for him because they've been pushing him a lot forward in this episode.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't mean he dies. Just pointing out that he's taking command and he's helping out, which is good.
I think the newbie, the green guy. Yeah.
Shit. Stay low.
He's really taking charge this episode.
Shells to that building, you're gonna see him real good. My orders are no unnecessary destruction of property. He's right there. I believe you, but if I can't see the bugger, I can't bloody well shoot him, can I?
We were talking, I think, first few episodes about how being with other people from other companies would mess it up, but now we're literally with another army. Orders would be different, ways of doing things would be different.
They're gonna get killed.
Fucking tanks are so hard to stop, man. Especially when you're, you know, on foot with one gun.
Just ditch on the other side. Follow me through.
Let's go. No. It's kind of like with smoke. With guns, you gotta stay low as much as possible. Make yourself a smaller target. Ah, shit. I do remember the guy who got fucking run over. Oh no. He is in a ditch though, so maybe. Which, by the way, was not CGI apparently. It was all practical effect.
Really?
Sorry. Van Klink, other side of that hedge. Ah, shit!
That look of like, are you fucking crazy? Why wouldn't you stay behind cover? Because there's stuff to do. People to save.
Pull it back, Allie! Pull it back!
Wasn't that the old man was in there?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, Lieutenant? I'm not sure. They're about to outflank us. We gotta get out of here!
Breathe. Follow your training, man. Just fall back to this. If I'm not mistaken, I think the guy who was talking shit in the beginning and didn't jump is also hiding right now.
That's one who's still just frozen in the corner.
Yeah. That's why you don't talk shit to new people, because you all go through this and you're not special.
Miller!
Fuck, man.
Pesci, let's go! Go, get him in! Keep moving!
I'm not too worried about him because in the opening you see him take his hat off, like, so we know there's a scene of him in the future. You'll be fine.
Leave me here for the German.
No.
You nuts! Who carry you? I weigh more than both of you two guys combined.
Well, we'll take 3 guys.
What the hell are you doing? Help us! Get back to the tank!
Yep. Okay. No, great. That's great. Don't listen to this hero bullshit of leave me behind. Fuck, we're saving everyone we can.
I don't think we know where the bull is now.
I hope Bull is still alive.
How bad? I don't know yet.
Oh
Fuck.
shit.
Fuck. No, yeah, it's okay. It's his hat.
I'm alright.
You fucking freak me out, man.
Randleman's missing too.
Did he got trampled over by a thing?
No, last time we saw him he was in the ditch and the tank was really close, but that doesn't mean shit. We will see him again, like they'll show us if he's dead. He's in there, alone and surrounded. My hope right now is that it all happened. So how do we know his story? Maybe because he came back alive. He doesn't know, like, they could call for help, they could fucking... You don't... How do you know who to trust? It's kind of like the other city, the other town they were in, like... People who are in the same town could work for one or the other depending on how they want to survive. I'd be so freaked out. You got hurt?
He's putting a lot of trust in these people.
They both are in a way because like if he's got a daughter, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
If the Germans that are in the town right now find out he's been hiding an American, he's gonna get killed. And same for him. If they are too afraid and they decide to scream, he's done. I said they could get killed for hiding an American, but honestly, they could get killed either way. They're not Germans. Like they could get shot just for being here. So.
Yeah, he saw it.
If you kill him and he makes noise.
It's not a cow.
I mean, it would be the best time if you kill him. It always fucking jams this gun. For once, it's in our favor. He would have shot you. Like that's. He doesn't know. Like who's to say? If he found you, he could have killed you. He literally helped.
I mean, we talk about the trauma lived by the soldiers, but the civilians too live in trauma.
Well, last episode, we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
They're not trained for this.
I'm gonna look for him. I'll go with you. Let me get some ammo.
That's okay. I'll go.
Me too.
He looked out for them, supported them, gave them tips.
I ain't going back up there.
Well, you never talk shit to anyone from now on. Then just say it.
Bombing Eindhoven.
We'll be waving so many orange flags at us tomorrow.
It's such a tough position to be in. I was thinking, when usually something happens, I feel like I always have to explain myself. So if I was in his shoes and the girl looked at me, like it doesn't matter if she's looking at him as a savior or an enemy, I'd be trying to say like, I just did what I had to do, to help. And same with the town, like they love them, they support them, they woohoo. But there's a job to be done, and sometimes it means messing up the life around here. Like it sucks.
If due to circumstances you cannot do the job, like they got attacked and they had to fall back.
Or no, bombing towns and shit. Like it's not a fun thing to do. You cannot please everyone, but like those people who cheer for them one day could be cursing them the other day, depending on what you have to do. So.
Where the fuck you been?
Glad to see you, boys.
I was glad as us. But you thought we given up on you there, huh, boss?
Shut up, cop.
What?
You have one crazy story to tell.
Quake says the Germans are concentrating their armor up near Vagel. Maybe heading into some more tanks.
Well, as long as there's only old men and kids.
Yeah, but old men and kids in a tank do the same damage as young men in a tank.
Pretty sure that's what he means.
How are the other divisions faring up north?
I think we're gonna have to find another way into Germany.
Well, you are spending Christmas here. That I know, so... that's why it hurts me every time I hear one of them say, like, oh, we'll be home by Christmas. I'm like, no! I was wondering if the episode was over, man.
Easy companies, man.
Fuck.
Oh, man.
8,000 men, man. The episode was so short. Went by so quickly, man.
It's almost 1 hour.
I was surprised. Like, when it felt like the end, I was like, man, we can't be done already.
You gotta invest in it?
Well, I actually like that recently, last episode and this episode, they've been focusing on less people.
During the story for that episode at all?
Yeah, because I think it works best to drive in the story of what they went through, and the theme of the episode is just more, it's stronger, since like we can, because like this episode being the replacement, we got to follow the guy who had, the reaction of helping out, so I support the others and we keep following him, so we see how that heart of and that attitude of helping out came back and helped him in the end. We also see maybe how it could have gone wrong, where it could have gone wrong, and how like you're doing your best to be helpful and to support others, but even when you do that, there might be situations where you're still looked at like the enemy, like you still did something bad, and or because like I'm thinking about that girl in the end. She didn't say shit. So all we have is our interpretation of her look, the look that she gave him. And like I said in the episode, if I was in his shoes, I would see so much resentment. And I feel like it's because he just killed the guy. So if I was there and I had just killed the men, anyone who would have looked at me, who was supposedly like, she's a civilian.
Yeah.
So, you don't know, maybe that's the first time she's seen someone get killed, but she's looking at, she would be looking at me and I'd be thinking, oh, she's probably thinking I'm a monster. I'm a killer. Like, that's the image she'll remember of me.
Do you think that our facial emotion that she
it was
showed,
neutral, really neutral.
but because we were thinking just like bull, for us, it meant,
I'm thinking
that she
yeah.
was like resentful. And in her head, it's like we're just as word as the German.
If I was there and I'm trying to put myself in their shoes in some sort of way, I'd be thinking constantly like, these guys are probably blaming me for doing this. Like, we said it several times, like these people live here. This is their farms. This is their houses. Like that old man that was screaming at them, like we don't even know what he said. Like maybe he helped. Maybe he said leave. You're either the enemy or the hero, and sometimes you can be the hero one day and the enemy the other day. You got the British army showing up and saying like, oh, our orders are to, you know, destroy not destroy property as much as possible, because, and I would think maybe it's because they live in Europe, like, so maybe like it's, oh, like we don't want to antagonize them, we don't want to do shit, whereas in fact, yes, it's good to, you know, save as many houses as possible, do less damage, but like they got shot because he didn't make that shot, like because he didn't listen to that other guy who said, I know they're there, just shoot. He had to follow his orders, that's for sure, but that mentality of I'm not going to do any damage, or as you know, I'll do what's necessary and I'll save the rest, like it's a good way of thinking about this, but the reality of it is that you're going to make shit explode. Like you're gonna damage property, you're gonna traumatize the ones that live here, even if you're their hero, and you got to go through that and continue doing that, knowing that these people will look at you and that's what they'll remember of you, that you were here and you killed people, you destroyed their lives, and it's not your fault. It's not these guys' fault. It's the fucking war, man, but it sucks for everyone. It's a terrible reality, and just fucking putting myself there, I'd be constantly blaming myself. Like I'd be like, fuck. Like, how am I different, like, from, like, deep down, I know, like, I would know the goal of this is to save people.
But still, you're still a part of it. You're still a part of that nightmare, basically.
Yeah, sort of. Like, kind of like Winter's...
Even if you're trying to bring hope, to just bring help to these people, you're still playing a part in it.
Yeah, and it fucking sucks because they don't deserve to be thinking that. And I mean, some of them might not be. Like, we know from last episode, people like Spears will probably be doing like, nah, this is my job. I don't really care. Like, maybe he does, like, or maybe he'll care later on, but in the moment, he chooses not to focus on that and be like, this is what I have to do, so... But, like, I'm just imagining that maybe some of them were constantly thinking, like, fuck, like, I am actively, you know, destroying their lives. And it fucking sucks, because, no, they're here to help, but... People's minds and ideas and opinions will change, and not always for the better.
I have a question for you. You said that it was easier to follow the storyline when we were focusing on one character point of view.
As much as possible,
that episode. Do you think that for the first two, we didn't follow one person in particular because we needed to be just as lost and confused as these guys?
It's a good way to interpret it. I think it's because, like, following one guy in the first... When we... kind of followed Winters in episode 2.
He was just moving with the flow.
Well, I mean, we followed him, but he's always there. I think when we mean like the story is focused on one guy, it's because that person has a story to tell in that moment. And I think now that the war is on and they've been here for months and years and they've been fighting actively, we can take a break from everything else, because there's stuff happening even when we're spending time with one guy, but we can, you know, focus on that particular story and tell it and, you know, spread that message, just focus on that, and we'll go back to the others later on. But the first 2 episodes needed to be about training and D-Day, and we needed to follow as much people as possible because so many of them were going through the same story. So focusing on one guy, I think, would not have been fair to the others, considering it's not like, oh, like Bull this episode literally went through something that's specific to that situation. Like he ended up being alone, surrounded by the enemy. Like this is a story worth telling. And Blight last episode was, you know, going through fear and losing his vision, the stress. Like it's so intense. It's not that, and I mean, I'm not saying that because he went through that, others didn't, but we focused on him to tell that story because his was so intense and so fucked up, kind of like Bull, and it works. But episodes 1 and 2, it's the same for everyone. Training and D-Day. It's crazy. It's stuff happening everywhere. It's confusion. So we needed to follow as many people as possible, and we needed to introduce as many people as possible too.
Because they're gonna die by the end of it.
But like if you don't. Kind of like a Bull this episode, we barely saw him ever since first episode when he was training, but we still remember him from that episode. Like we saw him there, so we know he was there. We know he's friends with the other guys. So if he had just showed up out of nowhere and we didn't know, like there's nothing to relate to, or like, oh, who's this guy? Kind of like the new ones, and I'm doing a great transition right there. Kind of like the new soldiers who just showed up and had no experience. Like we don't know who they are.
I'm sad that McAvoy died.
I know. I knew it though.
Another face that I knew just ended up dying just right away.
A lot of these guys, these actors went on to become big names in the industry later on. So we'll be recognizing a lot of them and freaking out because we know who they are. But back then they were nobodies.
True. But you're right. It's the fact that he's wearing a soldier uniform for that period of time.
It's fucking like atonement. Which, by the way, if you have not seen this movie, just go watch it. It's such a good movie. Really sad, but still.
Yeah, that episode, I would expect maybe if you've been there since the beginning, like the glass has been, the ice has been shattered, so you're not a veteran, but
well, yeah, I mean, they call in the description of the episode they call them veterans of D-Day.
Okay,
of D-Day.
Veterans of D-Day then. So you've been through shit, you know the shit since day one. The new guys comes in, they're green. They got the training, but they don't know the experience of being in the field doing the job, you know?
I think there's so many ways to respond to a group of newbies. I'll call them newbies, but green guys just showing up.
The greenies.
First of all, if the guy shows up with an attitude or wearing that was one example in the episode. So wearing the symbols and stuff that supposedly applauds you for stuff you didn't do because you were not there. And you're the guy that actually did the job. You went through this and you suffered for it, and you see other people kind of, and I'm not saying that's what they did, but it feels like they're claiming your accomplishment, like they're saying that, oh, he did that when in fact he didn't. It's kind of like stealing your sunshine. Well, it's not as glorious as that, but it's basically, well, kind of the reason why you freak out so much when you see someone pretending to be a veteran to get deals and shit. You know?
Yeah.
So it's disrespectful, or I mean, it would feel disrespectful. It would, when they do pretend to be veterans, it is fucking disrespectful. But in this situation, it would feel disrespectful. It would feel like you're pretending to be someone you're not, and you may be thinking you're the shit when in fact you're not. So if you've gone through this and you're on edge, they've been here for a while, man. We saw how they reacted in the town when they just cheered for them. They are dying for good food, dying for companionship. They've been spending days and nights with these same guys who smell, who, curse, who hurt.
Yeah.
They are, it's a miserable reality. And then you added this guy who's fresh. He has, no dirt on his shirt. He's no cuts, no scars. He's freshly shaven. He's basically new to all of this, and he pretends that he belongs, or he would like to belong.
But you know what's worse? Sometimes those decorations to acknowledge their.
It's a squad thing.
It's a squad thing. That's an acknowledgement given by the higher ups, the government.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't have a say in it.
I know. I'm not. I would be shut the fuck up. He's a part of the team now. You just welcome in him. But especially since that guy ended up not owning up to whatever everything he said.
I still understand why people might be
Yeah,
frustrated over it, because it is true that it's kind of your taking the credits for something
it
that
feels like that. It
that
feels
you
like
didn't technically do. You know?
I'm doing what I always do in discussions. I'm gonna try to, you know, speak from both sides, and right now I'm trying to just explore why some of them might have reacted this strongly, but I get it. Like, I understand just the feeling that these guys are showing up, and right now you're not seeing that you're a part of the same team. You're seeing the opposite. You're seeing that you went through something with these guys, and this is your experience. This is your group. You have your calls, your jokes, your memories, and then this guy, or these guys, have none of that. So even beyond the frustration of you don't belong and you know, you don't pretend to be someone you're not, it's also the fact that they don't know each other. They haven't gone through training together. They haven't gone through war together. Like, they have no memories, nothing to really talk about, or, you know, just no subject to bring up and just compare shit over. Like, it would be hard with anyone, like in real life, in real out of war situations,
And
like
day-to-day
in
life
life
situations, yeah.
just meeting new people can be stressful, and you can, you know, struggle to connect and stuff. So imagine that, but times like 100.
Just said at the beginning that we saw both sides. You got those who said, "Oh, the new guy showed up," and some of us tried to like help them out, like we saw with Bull in that episode. Others said that they didn't want to get get close, because since they're new,
they started hating on him because they were gonna get killed. And I'm taking this as, you know, they reacted like this maybe because getting close to them, knowing that they had a bigger chance to get killed, which is not true, but it could have felt like that, since they were. It's basically like D-Day was fucking hell and it was intense, but you survived D-Day, you may feel like you're able to survive anything.
But it's the fact that since you are new to war, you got that first contact that you need to get over with. A lot of guys died at that first contact because you're in shock. You're
basically when they were on D-Day and they went through their first time, they had they also had as many chances to die as these newbies. But now that they've survived this, they are experienced. So whenever they face combat after that, they'll know how to react. They'll know, you know, what calls to make.
They were able to keep a level head when they're doing their job.
And kind of like, when they went through that bush and he said, just follow me through, there's a ditch on the other side. He knew to go through on the ground, stay low, because otherwise you'll become a target. And the other one just went through on his feet, So it's experience and stuff. So if a new guy comes in, whenever, you know, no matter when he shows up, he will face that first combat, like that first experience. He'll go through it just like they did, but since they already survived it, they no longer have that green attitude of I don't know how to react, but they will know that these guys will go through it. So there's a high chance they'll either freak out, die, or just, you know, come out of it with huge trauma. So like, would you want to get attached to people who you think like, no, they're probably gonna die? So you don't want to put yourself through so much more suffering, but it sucks because it keeps you from becoming keeping the unit together.
To be a true kurare, that's right.
No. But Kurahi, I think.
Kurahi.
What did I say? It was. We stand alone. We stand alone.
We stand alone as one. But
no, it's we stand alone, but alone with the meaning that
as one.
We're one, so that's why we're alone. It's. I remember reading about it.
I understood. God.
Yeah.
We stand alone, but as one.
Since they're one, they are alone. So anyway, so yeah, it would suck. It would separate the team. I mean, that's my fear, that it would separate the team. And if the people that, you know, if you get close to them and they get killed, you will feel like, okay, like that's on me. Maybe I should have protected them. Maybe like I'm the veteran, so maybe I should have done something more. Kind of like Bull saw James McAvoy in the ditch dead, and like he knew he was a newbie. He kind of took him under his wing too a little bit.
That's
Miller. Okay. He kind of helped him out, and to see him dead, it's confirmation like, oh, the new guy just got killed. So I think the fact that they showed us him seeing the new guy dead, it was kind of a way to reflect what was said in the beginning of some of us just stopped caring because, you know, we were tired of seeing them get killed.
What was the point then?
Yeah, but I still, like, I respect him a lot for trying to raise them up as much as possible, because war is already fucking crazy. They are already stressed, and it's about to get worse. Why make it, you know, even more miserable experience by not even helping because of that attitude, that pride? And I mean, it's human, so I'm not really blaming those who had that initial, you know, reaction of because kind of like the guy in the beginning said he didn't understand, like he found himself hateful, like he kind of resented them, and he doesn't really know why back then he reacted like this. But it's new guys just entering into your dynamic and changing things, and it's human. It's a human reaction. It can't really be explained. Emotions can't really be controlled or explained, so you just got to go through it and just, you know, try to go through your day despite that, and not be an asshole despite the reaction. But because like Bull, like maybe he hates those guys too, but he felt that it was his job to give them tips,
to be the mentor, to help them out.
Like I said in the episode, you've been through this as well. Wouldn't you have loved, I mean, they had people in charge and stuff, but wouldn't you love to go through your first day with someone right there to help you out, give you tips, tell you right away this is not going to work, you do it like this is going to help?
But a bit like Winter with Blight and the other one.
Winter's fucking carried Blight when he got
when
him,
he helped
you
him
know,
out
to shoot
to just
and
overcome his
because they all react differently.
Shock,
They're all going to react differently. So those that can stay calm during those moments should, I mean, I was about to say should help out the others, but I remember what I said in the episode.
They're not entitled to
help
them out, but
it's a nice gesture.
It's a nice gesture.
But again, I said in the episode, to help out is a nice thing to do. To just give them tips is great. But when they were fighting, I was thinking, yes, you're seeing them make mistakes, and maybe you'd want to turn around and tell them, okay, this is what it's not working, like do something else. But you're also in the middle of fighting.
Yeah, that's keeping you unfocused from your targets and your opponents.
And like one moment can get you killed. Like there's literally a guy, like if he had not turned his head to the side, he would be dead. Like it's just, people will freak out, and maybe you want to be there and help them out. But if you do that, you're not focusing on your job, and you might be the one that ends up dead. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily the same, but when that first guy got shot in the street, you saw Bull just react automatically, went to him despite the bullets, and the others were in the ditch, like they didn't know what to do, how to respond. If he's calling for help, he's saying, okay, someone else just come in and help, and you're not reacting, like he doesn't have time. Like there's someone dying right there. You gotta act now. Like if he's, you know, looking out for you, are you okay and stuff, it's not gonna work. Everyone is gonna end up dead. So yes, you help, but they also gotta do like their part of the job and somehow manage, as hard as it is. I really liked him, how he reacted, how he responded, and I'm glad he's alive. I hope he doesn't die later on in the show, but
I did not expect Sobel to be back with that episode though.
Oh, that's true. We didn't even talk about him. I don't know. The fact that he's back means that something is gonna happen with him.
When he's the supply
officer. So he's not fighting technically. Like he's not with them. He's not, you know, he doesn't have a chance to screw things up, but maybe he could still do something. And I feel like he's got the you know, at first I was like, oh, maybe like he's looking at them and he's like, oh, these are the guys I train and they survived D-Day. Like he knows sort of what they've been through maybe, and I was wondering maybe he feels a bit proud, like maybe there's a change in him, like I don't know, I want him to show us that he can be a good guy and at least work a little bit.
Depends on his attitude.
I know, but then right after that he looked like it's not the time, and the guy was just looking at the fucking like, why get on his fucking ass for this?
But,
like
you know,
it's not the time.
And the testimony at the beginning, they said that the new guys, when they showed up, they viewed the D-Day veterans as heroes. Like, oh my gosh.
So you think Sobel is looking at them like heroes?
No,
but then he treated
jealousy.
Them like this?
Because from what we know of Sobel, he wants to get the recognition, like promotion, be promoted, to be on top. He has a ego trip, you know? So the fact that he could have been one of them to get that recognition.
But you also know from the statistics and everything that they've been saying how many people also died on D-Day, and we know he was freaking out from the idea of jumping from a plane.
I don't think he would have survived, probably, but the fact still that maybe a part of him sitcom could have been maybe, you know, one of these guys.
We'll see, but I get the feeling that he came here trying to bring back the old vibe that he had, like the old relationship that and power maybe, because like it's not his job anymore to reprimand them. So why the fuck are you trying? I mean, it's Sobel, like they said, he's still the same guy, but I hope, I mean, maybe we'll see him later, but hopefully it's not, you know,
as bad as the beginning.
Maybe he'll get a wake-up call and realize that these guys are no longer your students. They are grown men who have gone through worse than you did. You owe them some respect, so stop treating them like shit. I kind of want to see that. Maybe a sorry for some of these people that you mistreated would be appreciated.
That'd be nice.
But we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's about it for episode 4. Thank you guys so much for watching it with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it will be on Patreon first, so you can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't want to, the next one shall be on YouTube next week. So see you then, guys.
Bye!